In this video, I'm going to be talking about the AP problem that I gave you guys to do, problem 4. But before you try this, or actually before you do the other two or any of the problems, I highly encourage you to go on the assignment page, I have it right here, and look at these two Khan Academy videos right here, the links to these videos. The first one is for negative externalities, and the second one is for taxes for factoring in negative externalities. Now, when you watch this one, the taxes one, keep in mind he is talking about a per unit tax, a tax per unit, because he's talking about plastic bags in this video and the negative externality of producing plastic bags in the environment, which if you're ever seen black plastic bags blowing around New York City, you know what he's talking about. They're ugly and they're dangerous to wildlife. Anyway, so he's talking about that, but he's talking about a tax that's per unit. And in your homework, it's very, very important to pay attention to how they ask these questions. In your homework, they're asking about a lump sum tax, not a per unit tax. So you're going to answer that differently. And I'll sort of show you on the graph why that is. But if you remember from previous problems that we've done, a per unit tax will affect marginal cost because you're paying, more for as you produce more, you pay more because it's per unit. But a lump sum tax is not going to affect the marginal cost curve. It's going to affect the average total cost curve because you're looking at total cost increasing as a result of this lump sum, but it does not change what each unit cost. As you produce more, it's not going to change your cost because you've got to pay this lump sum tax no matter how many of whatever it is you produce, no matter what the quantity is. So I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I wanted to point that out so that when you watch this video from Khan, that you're not totally confused, because he actually talks about the deadweight loss getting smaller, when the answer in your homework is it doesn't change it at all in terms of a deadweight loss. So we'll go back to that. But anyway, let's kind of back up here and start at the beginning. So what they're asking you to do is draw a graph of a good in a market that is in a perfectly competitive market and that creates a negative externality. It doesn't say anything at all in a problem about how to draw this graph. It just talks about a marginal private cost and marginal social cost, and it wants you to label the market quantity, the market equilibrium quantity, is QM, and the allocatively efficient, which is the best for society, quantity labeled as QS, and shade in the deadweight loss. So if you watch, once again, if you watch this video, this first one from Khan on deadweight loss, on a negative externality, that's really going to help you understand how to answer this first part of the question really, really well. But what I will say to you is that when you look at this, you're going to draw a graph, and all you really have to draw is let me get that. If I can grab that, is this, right? So the problem is asking you to draw the graph price, the quantity. The demand curve is the marginal social benefit. So as you can see, as we produce more, the price is going to as we produce more, right, the marginal social benefit goes down. The actual cost goes down. So you sort of have to think about, well, it's the demand in terms of price, but it's also the marginal social benefit. So conceptually, as this company produces more, as they produce more, as they go this way, right? Up here, the marginal social benefits here, if they produce less, then the marginal social benefit is even higher. So with a negative externality, the marginal social benefit is going to drop as you produce more. So, which means that each unit you produce is less of a benefit. That's really how to think about this. So each as we marginally, as we produce more on the margins, marginally your benefit is less. It doesn't mean your total benefit is going down. And this is going back to the problem that we did before. Understand that the marginal means the change. So the benefit with this downward sloping curve, it means the change, the benefit is getting less. Excuse me, I just sneezed. Sorry about that. The benefit is getting bigger, I guess, or the actual increase in benefit is getting smaller as we produce more. So we can think about it, the demand curve as being the same as our marginal social benefit curve. Now where the marginal private cost curve, which is also your supply curve, your private supply, where that crosses your demand curve is going to be where your market quantity is. Then we have to factor in the cost, the marginal or the cost to society. So whatever that is. So we're going to put that cost is this cost right here, right? And then that's going to shift our supply curve. It's going to give us a new supply curve up and to the left that we call the marginal social cost curve. So that's going to be up here. So that's going to shift our allocatively efficient quantity and price. It's going to be a higher price, and I can just show you that here, right? It's going to be a higher price and a lower quantity. Now, this is sort of a strange looking. Actually, I should put that here, right? Yeah. This is sort of a strange looking deadweight loss because it's on the other side of the quantity. It's to the right of the quantity. But if you think about this area right here is what we lose to society if we were to produce here, right, at the market quantity and price, then the social cost would be this area right in here. And that's what we would lose. So that's what we would not compensate for. So in a case in the Khan video, we would not be we would be losing I believe he said, 2 cents per bag cost to society of producing these. The negative externality to a society is an actual cost. Very hard to compute that cost, but we're assuming here, just like he did in his video, that we're able to compute what that social cost is. So if this is the social cost right here, then our deadweight loss is going to be this triangle in between the two quantities below the marginal social cost curve and above the demand or marginal social benefit curve. So if we're able to produce at the allocatively efficient point, which I believe that's how they say it in the question, yeah, the allocatively efficient quantity QS, then that compensates us for our deadweight loss because we're producing at a lower quantity and we're charging a higher price. Okay, now the other part of this is, that I was talking about at the beginning, is the question asked, part B here is assume that a lump sum tax is imposed on the production of good X. And the simple answer is that because it doesn't affect the marginal cost curve, deadweight loss does not change. I just wanted to show you graphically why that is. Well, we don't know where, this is the average total cost curve. So I just kind of drew just a random average total cost curve here, and we don't know where this is at all. But what we do know is that if the government imposes a lump sum tax wherever we started with this average total cost curve, it's going to go up. So average total cost is going to go up. So that's what actually changes. It's going to go from here to here, or wherever we started to whatever the amount of this tax is. So average total cost would increase for this firm, but since the marginal cost curves don't change at all, that doesn't affect our deadweight loss. So that's sort of the graphic answer to the last part. Okay, be sure and watch the videos. They're very helpful.